Yo! Okay, so, I continued looking at the code after last time, and the issue we ran into was NPC find nearest trash. This function could return 0, which was a problem because I didn't take that into account. So I took that into account. These 4 blocks of code right here, I added them in, but I left them commented out. But these effectively deal with it. Every single one of them is else destination equals 0, set destination to self.x. Every one of them. And with that, that should solve that problem, and everything should be fine and happy and work amazingly. The only other thing I did was right down here, I added in and I commented out this NPC garbage exists. So we're calling garbage exists does not equal 1. And I can't remember why I added this in, or what it does, but I'm pretty sure it solved a bug somewhere. So all we're doing is passing clown.playerNum into NPC garbage exists. So this is returning garbage exists. I don't understand what this code's doing at all. I have no idea why I added this in. Oh, NPC garbage exists returns a Boolean. So this will only advance the gems if no garbage exists. I may want to add some conditionals on that at some point. But that is true that I found an issue where it would advance the gems while dealing with the garbage and just kind of screw itself up, which is kind of stupid. So, doing that should solve that problem. So, with that said, Naka's block and Karen's block should now be done. So at this point, I need to work on the next one. I need to work on Isami's block. And Isami's block is going to be a little bit fun, because I realized how horrendously easy it is to deal with Isami's block. Hey there, Zekrotan. So I realized how horrendously easy it is to deal with Isami's block, so I'm going to have to change how Isami's block works. Now, whether or not how easy this is going to be, I have no idea. because let's take a look at Isami right now. So Isami's block right now is... So it's in 5 blocks over to the opponent. So there we are. 5 Isami blocks. So these are trouble because I throw them down, they destroy that block directly below it. Grab another one, it'll also destroy the blocks to the side of it. So the issue is you would want to have to, like, burn this thing all the way down, like drill all the way down 2 rows in order to safely dispose of these blocks. So I could toss them down here and they wouldn't destroy any of the blocks. Or I could just grab all of them all at once and go over top of the highest thing here and just do that. I only eat 1 block, but it's just immediate. You don't have to worry about it, you don't have to deal with anything. Just that quick and you're done. So as many as you could send, you pick them all up, you drop them all down at once, you destroy 1 block, and you move on with your life. So that's a problem. Okay, so I'm not even going to worry about AI right now, because I've got to change Isami's block. So what I want to do so the initial bit works fine. So this don't exec is going to be rough. Okay, what if I just take a peek into effects? Okay, so we have a gem type equals 7 here. Where do I even handle the code for this? I've just got a function called punch block check. Okay. Okay, function punch block check. So I have no doubt that today is going to be spent mostly reverse engineering how in the world I get this punch block check to even work. So I'm going to end up making very little forward progress because I have to figure out how crap my program works. Huh. Oh, did you do all the vendors? Friggin' quick, yo! Thank you. I wasn't expecting you to, like, actually just do the thing.
I don't know, I was in the middle of it, so I think I just finish it.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I guess that's one thing we can check off our to-do list.
It's not a very difficult task, to be honest.
Yeah.
Plus, I'm good at, slightly bullshit.
I'm not.
Like, it wasn't bullshit, but it was flowery enough language that I had to, like, bullshit a little, because I don't naturally talk in that kind of language.
I'm not. Like, just that flowery kind of language at all, I am not good at.
I got pretty good at writing statements about things when I had to write the GDM emails in college. Like when I was when I was communications coordinator for GDM, and I had to write the weekly email that went out saying like who was speaking at GDM. I got pretty freaking good at singing other people's praises. And just being like, you want to come to this event because this person's here, he's super fucking important. So, like, I got pretty good at being like, yo, check how good this person is.
Okay, so I think I changed this function.
Plus, like, we didn't have any issues, really.
Yeah.
So, like, there was nothing that I could go off on about. Mostly just like, they did their job and they did it well. Right?
Yeah. Why do I call this recursively? What?
What are you doing with stop eating recursion?
What am I doing? What? I mean, it works, but like... Oh, you know, I think I have this set up so if you punch a punch block, it also triggers that punch block. I think that's what this is doing.
What is a punch block?
It's Isami's block.
Oh.
Like, I think that's what the recursion is doing.
Okay. I should have left the tabs open because now I don't remember which ones I did.
And we're back. Back to me trying to figure out what's going on with this. Okay, so I think I do indeed want it. So if you punch a punch block, it triggers that punch block. Like, if a punch block is already triggering, if it's already going off, there should be no situation where it shouldn't trigger another punch block if it hits one. So I think this function is fine. It's going to come down to when I call this function. The music is from Newtopia and Newtopia 2. So punch block check. So when do I call punch block check? Okay, so I call it in effects. Call it in effects under move gem movement. Hey Spectre, if you want to make some fan art, I'm happy of any fan art. Any at all, man. Whatever your creative juices tell you to make. Okay, so we have for each move gem. So move it somewhere. But if it reaches its destination, do something. Okay, so if make block equals 1, gem type equals 12. Well, it's not gem type equals 12. That's for the ghost. So we're on else. So we're looking at this block of code here. Oh, Spectre, I don't know if I would use fan art for the video stills. I mean, if I just got in a ludicrous amount of fan art, then I'd consider it, I guess. But that was something that I was thinking into getting something, I guess, somewhat professionally made. Yeah, like commissioned art.
You know what I want all of a sudden?
Hmm.
Onions.
Hmm.
I think because that salad kit that I have has, like, dehydrated onion, like fried onions or something in it. But it makes me want Funyuns.
Hmm.
Now that's everyone.
Okay, let's see here. So. So it's overlapping a gem. Move it up. See, this is all to figure something out. Oh, I think this is if it's on the bottom? Yeah, so this is all like if it's on the bottom. And gems are advancing. We adjust it for that. Okay, this is where the fun... Oh, there's more code here than I thought. Okay, so this is where the fun happens. So if we're in the right position too, we create the gem. And then we have gem type equals 5, a gem type equals 6, we don't care about any of those. And gem type equals 7, so check match right there. Hey there, Mouse Sixtel. Fair warning, I program slowly. I feel like I program much faster when I'm doing broader things. But especially now that I'm messing with, like... I don't know, this game in particular is a game that I feel like I just program this game slowly. Like, so much of this game is the little fine-tuning knickknacks of how things interact. Why did I think making this game would be a good idea? It's like how I get every game, like, programming through Tofu Tower, and I was like, holy crap, why did I do this?
Okay, it's weird, but it's a sea pancake and it flies and it's a mount and it's in Guild Wars 2. I want it.
Okay.
It's a weird sea pancake.
Okay. That's a weird sea pancake.
It's a very weird sea pancake.
Okay, so this is what I'm looking for. It entirely comes down to me making sure check match is put on correctly. So I set check match. Wait. But if I just always set check match to 1, then why does this work in the first place? Oh, it's don't exec. That's what I'm looking for. Okay, so check match is correct. It's don't exec that I'm looking for. So I need to set don't exec correctly. So I need to set don't exec correctly in certain situations. And I need to set it on the move gem itself. I feel like doing what I want to do with this is going to be really hard. Okay, how do I even want to approach this then? See, it's frustrating because I know exactly what I want it to do, but keeping in mind the systems of the game that detect what's where and how things are working, I'm not entirely positive I can get this to do what I need it to do. Okay, I'm gonna think for a little bit. I guess the overall problem that I'm running into is there are very certain situations where I want the punch block to actually activate and do its thing. What I'm looking for is kind of a... I guess kind of a 1-2 punch, like a rapid-fire punch. Where it would work like Karen's block, where only the block on the very bottom would trigger. And then the rest would kind of fall down on top of that. But the problem is I have to distinguish between different ways of triggering certain things. Like, I have to know... Like, I've got the move gem that's falling down, but I have to know, did the player throw that, or is it falling on its own? Did the player throw that, or did the auto trash generation throw that? Okay, so let's look at... Throw gem. Okay, so let's toss something down here. And say, well, gem type is equal to 7. And... loop index is equal to 0? Set don't exec to 1. I don't know if this is supposed to be 0 or 1. Set don't exec to 1. Okay, so that should now make it so whenever I throw gems, only the bottom one will trigger. Let's see what happens. I've LP'd both Newtopia games, actually. Alright, so we drop those down. Now... Dang it! wonder if a while loop doesn't have a loop index. Oh, that's gonna be frustrating. What? What? Okay, wait a minute. So if I hit a block, I set ground counter to 1. If ground counter is 0, we do this. So if I'm throwing it onto a gem, then it's going up here. Okay, let's try this again. Dang. Alright, well, we can set this to 0. Seems to be working better now. Hey there, Zulios. So that's the opposite of what I want to do. Okay, so I want this to go the other way. Yeah, that actually makes sense. So instead of loop index is greater than 0, I can go quantity is equal to 0. And that should get me what I'm looking for. What? What? Oh, change this to not equal to 0. Yeah! Okay, we're getting places. So the only thing that I need to change from here is I need to make sure after they fall that the bottom one will indeed trigger again. So that's going to be under, not throw gem. Trigger fall after delete. Is that what I'm looking for? Probably. Oh, I set don't exec to 1 right here. Okay, so this is what I need to modify, and I just need to make sure that the bottom block has don't exec set to 0. How am I going to do that? How am I going to check to make sure that the bottom block actually triggers? So can I just like check right below this one? Pick all gem. Gem X is equal to move gem.x. Gem Y is equal to move gem.y plus gem size. So if there is a gem directly below this one, set don't exec to 1. No, I also need to go gem type is equal to 7. So if there's a gem if there is a gem directly below this one that is of type punch, set gem type or set don't exec to 1. If there's not, set don't exec to 0. That'll work if it's a gem, but what if it's a move gem? Oh, I hate having to communicate between two different move gems. Can I? Is it that big a deal? So if I sort by ascending... I guess I had them sort randomly before, so it shouldn't matter. So if we look at them in ascending order, then we should start going top down. So we should always have gems. We should not have move gems yet. Okay, let's see if this works.
I don't know what I just
Oh man. Does it work? Oh man. Oh. Yeah, you punch those blocks! Friggin' yes! Just wreck 'em the whole way down! Okay, that doesn't quite work as intended. But still. It works when you throw it on the bottom. So the only issue now is that the falling blocks fall in an awkward way. I know exactly why it didn't do what I wanted it to do. I don't know if that's fixable, though, or if it's worth fixing. That's not what I wanted to do. So it's zero-based. There we go. Yeah, a little awkward. Not quite what I wanted. But I know exactly why it's doing it, though. Oh, I was hoping this wouldn't be the case. I was hoping it would just work and I wouldn't have to worry about it, but there's no reason for it to just work. Okay, let's see here. So that is under Move Gem movement. Oh, I don't know if I can fix this. Well, I don't know if I can fix this reasonably. Oh, and I keep thinking, like, well, maybe it'd be okay to just leave it as it is, but it looks jank if I leave it like it is. Oh, what could I do to fix this? Like, I know exactly why it's doing it. And it's just because I have all the move gems falling at once. So, of course, we have the gems, like we have the punch block falling, but we also have the block next to it falling. They're falling at the same time next to each other. But one of them has to be made, air quoting, into a block before the other block. There has to be an order to that. And right now, I do it by y-coordinate. But since these are on the same y-coordinate, it's effectively random which one gets made first, the punch block or the one next to it. Like the punch block or the normal block. And for this to work, I need it to destroy the... I need it to create the non-punch block first. But I can't distinguish that. Like, it's just loop through all move gems. Welcome back, Mouse Sixtel. You missed me nearly get it to work, and now we have problems. I don't know how to fix this. Huh. Maybe that... Ah! I, like, almost want to just leave it. I almost want to just leave it. Well, now Sixtel, I guess a better representation of what it's supposed to do I can show by doing this. So I'm holding 5. If I throw it on if I throw this one on top of a flat surface, they go bam, 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 and just dig their way right down. And it's great. So the issue that I'm having right now is... So the issue that I'm having right now is, intuitively, if I throw this down here, one should hit the bottom and destroy the two next to it. Then it and both columns next to it should fall down, destroying the next three across. Like, if I throw 5 down here, it should destroy the bottom 5, you'd think. But instead, it just does every other row. And I don't know... Maybe I'll just leave it like that. If it consistently does every other row, then I may just leave it like that. Because I honestly don't know how to fix it. Yeah, I don't know how to fix it. That doesn't look... If it's consistently every other row, then it doesn't look nearly as jank. That almost looks intentional. And I don't know how to fix it. I also feel like that may help make it not quite as powerful. Because if you were in the exact same situation with Miss Naka's blocks, say, you could grab all of them, throw them all down there, and they're just gone. No worries, no anything. So this one is already destroying more than Miss Naka's. So, maybe I'll just leave it at that. I guess we'll see if it causes problems later on, but for now I think I'm just gonna leave it and call that done. So, back down to the AI. Okay, so the AI for this one, I think I'm gonna have the AI for this one just work exactly like, you know what? One thing I didn't do? Let's try this. In retrospect, that's about what I expected that to do. Tip, don't throw punch blocks onto punch blocks. Hey, Sebastian, what engine did you program it in? Like, what development environment did you use to make the game? Unity? Was it hard to get it to work online? Or was there some kind of, like, library or something that you could use? Oh, so you've actually got a like designated server. Oh, that just says a web framework. I mean, I assume you could just put it there, though. Put the server on there. Okay, so I'm thinking for this, Naka's and Isami's blocks will probably just use the same AI. In fact, Yeah, man, whatever gets the job done. Hey, Construct. Hey there, Toa. So I had to start the day by changing around how Isami's block worked a little. But I think how Isami's block changed around worked pretty well. So now I'm working on the AI for it. And I'm trying to right now I'm trying to, because what I want is, like, if this equals 6 or 7. But there's, as far as I can tell, there's no easy way to do that. So I may need to just grab this, put it up here, and then make this an OR block. Which I don't like, because it's calling this function twice. Like, the AI was working before, so I'm glad it's continuing to work, but it's also good to see that it's working for a different character. Like, that ore that I put in works. There's no weird shenanigans along the way. I'm surprised both AIs are staying in sync for this long. I've got to fix that. I'm gonna fix the AI quirk that has them go back and pick up the gems even after they've been dealt with. How would I even go about doing that, though? He's like, the AI just sees them being there and then goes, hey, we should go pick up those gems so we can deal with them. No, I fixed that for Karen, didn't I? Yeah, I did fix it for No, I didn't. Never mind. Okay, so it's clearly not actually doing it. Dang it! So how do I make it do it? Okay, how do I fix that? Yeah, Daisy Alexander, I think for this one, I think it's fine if he just wants to come up with silly little things like that. Kind of like fan fiction, as long as he understands it's not like anything he comes up with, just for the fun of coming up with it, isn't canon, and he doesn't get to decide whether it's canon or not. It's fan fiction, pure and simple, and like if that's the case, then like he can do it as long as he understands that. Okay, how do I stop the AI from doing the stupid thing? Karen's would be simple enough. So I guess probably the easiest thing to do would be to check the entire column and see if one of them has been destroyed. Well, if you're going to compare, like, fan fiction becoming something like Twilight or Freedom Planet, then the important thing to keep in mind, for legal reasons, is if you're going to make it into something of your own, you have to actually make it into something of your own. You have to make the characters and, like, your own characters. And both Twilight and Freedom Planet did this. Even though it's, like with Freedom Planet, say, it's very obvious there was a lot of Sonic inspiration to it, the main character isn't just a different colored Sonic. With everybody saying, no, it's totally not Sonic. It's like, you look at it and no, the main character is her own character. They changed it and made it into their own thing, even though it started as effectively fanfiction. Yo, fine. I'm back to figuring out what I gotta do with this AI to get it to not be stupid.
Sheets.
Oh man. The AI works, it's just stupid.
The other thing with turning fanfiction into not fanfiction is you have to change every name.
Yeah.
You can't say, oh, this work is my own not fanfiction work, but it's set in Will Gaia.
Yeah.
It can't be set in the same universe.
Yeah. Yeah, it can't be in the same universe, can't be the same characters, like, it cannot have any relation to the original,
Like,
even though it may have started as fanfiction.
I couldn't publish my own book that I said was my own IP and have a bunch of characters that go to Hogwarts, you know?
Yeah.
That's not my IP.
Yeah.
I don't know what the name of the world that Sonic is taking place on, so I could use that as a reference. Does it have a name?
It changes, depending on where you look. I think a lot of the main series, for a while, starting with, like, Sonic Adventure on the Dreamcast, I'm pretty sure it just took place on Earth. Awkward as that was.
Huh.
But I'm pretty sure the original Sonics, like on the Genesis, and even the comics, like the whole Sonic comic thing, that all took place on Mobius. Anymore, I don't even know.
Well, that's not a great example, but, like, say if you wanted to make a game that was in the style of Sonic, like Freedom Planet, they can't have Chaos Emeralds.
Yeah.
They can have something that looks and sounds totally different that is, you know, obviously a throwback to Chaos Emeralds, but they can't have Chaos Emeralds.
Yeah, it can't
They
be...
probably shouldn't have gems that look like Chaos Emeralds.
Yeah, it can't be called a Chaos Emerald, can't function like a Chaos Emerald. It can bear a passing resemblance. It can be a nod
Yeah.
to Chaos Emeralds. But you can't just go, oh yeah, we totally don't have Chaos Emeralds, we have Power Stones, and it's just a big friggin' emerald that does the exact same thing. Okay, how's this AI gonna work?
I'm gonna go back to Oxon.
Okay. No, Alexander, no need to get angry. Or spiteful is probably the better word. Okay, How do you fix this? Because, like, garbage does exist. So it's going to go down here. I need to, like, change this function so it doesn't trigger. Hello, Chobita, hello! Well, let's take a look at NPC garbage exists. can you do like a pick all and then a for each, like one right after the other?
I don't see why not.
Or would you have to like make it on a sub event? Well, we'll find out, I guess. My only concern now is this means that there are going to be... This means that there are going to be garbage blocks on the top and able to be picked up, while the AI is in I'm not dealing with garbage mode. So we'll see what exactly happens to the AI. So it doesn't work, because I'm pretty sure the we're not dealing with garbage blocks AI saw a whole bunch of blocks and went, hey, we can make a match with them. So let's go look at the not dealing with trash blocks AI. How does Elena sit? If forced to stay still, she will likely either stand or sit on a chair without a back. If there is no chair without a back, she just stands impatiently. Alexander's asking a question about Elena, a character.
I know who that is.
She's not really the kind who would want to sit down for anything. Like, she's not the kind that would ever want to go to a play. She's not the kind that would want to sit in on a meeting. And if forced to sit down and actually do something, she would not be happy about it. Like that, like to her, that's just kind of... To her, it's pointless. She's got better things to do than sit down and listen to somebody else prattle on. Wait, do I use no gem find match anywhere in the actual AI? think I do. Let's look for no gem find match. Okay, so I'm thinking about the best I can do here is add a new event above this one that says if gems gem type is greater or equal to 5, set move check to 1. Like, that's kind of reusing a variable, but then it'll go down here, and then it'll go here to move check equals 0. And then it'll, like, skip the whole thing. So if the top one is that, it should just ignore it. Alright, let's see how they handle garbage blocks this time. Hey AI number 1 there. What you doing? Hey there, Pinch D. Let's take a look at another look at garbage exists. No, I have garbage on top. Oh my goodness. Garbage exists. But garbage exists should be... Okay, I see. So I actually need to add a 7 to this. That should make that work. Seems to get the job done. Take a look at Karen. That more or less works.
Do you think it's safe to put food on if you're like that at all?
Yeah. I feel like I may call it a little early.
Oh.
Because I feel like at this point, there's not a lot more that I could get involved in that I want to get involved in right now. Because this looks like it works. This looks like it gets the job done. If there's garbage now, it successfully ignores it as part of the regular AI, which I should have,
So much bread.
which I should have done in the first place, to be honest. Like, it ignores it now, so that's... it does what it needs to. So we actually made an amount of progress today. We changed around Isami's block, so now Isami's block works differently, but better. We got the AI to handle Isami's block, so we now have 3 characters that can be AI'd. 4, technically, because I don't have to do Yuki's. And then we also fixed the AI being stupid glitch and picking up the garbage blocks when it didn't need to anymore. So that's done. And that's specifically here looking at, yep, I think that's all we got. I think we're good. I can't think of anything else at this point without working on the next character. Which, the next character is... Tofu! So we have to get the AI to handle Tofu's blocks. And handling Tofu's block is going to be a whole other deal, and I don't have a huge amount of time to do it. So I may wait until another time to do that. But I guess we can ponder for a moment. How exactly would I have the AI for that work?
レビアン。
Oh man, Toa, thanks for the sub! Okay, so how exactly do I want to handle Tofu's blocks? Okay, so it just takes 4. That's cool. So if we get something like this and the tofu block lands up top, we don't want it up there. If it's going to be 4, then we want to make sure that any tofu blocks above a certain height, any blocks above this point are lowered to below this point. So I may do the standard bit of, if you're holding a tofu block, always move and throw it on the lowest possible point. If you are not holding a tofu block, I feel like priority 1 should be lowering high blocks. So if there is a tofu block above a certain point, go to it and pick it up. Otherwise, throw it down. Now, in a situation like this, we have to actually deal with the tofu block. So what I'll probably do is just have you grab a block from the highest point, maybe. And then when you're holding a block, throw it over top of tofu block. Grab highest, throw over top. Grab highest, throw over top. That sounds reasonable, like just find the nearest tofu block after grabbing it and throw it down on top of it. The only thing to keep in mind is making matches will not get rid of the tofu block. So if I go, oh, the highest is here, now that I'm holding stuff, go throw it down over here, it's just going to get rid of everything and we're going to have an exposed tofu block again. But, do I want to actively go out of my way to get rid of the tofu blocks? Or maybe is it alright to just kind of let them go away naturally as you bury them? Like, just keep going. And, like, eventually you're gonna get it. And if you make a match along the way, then, like, whatever, you made a match. You need to make matches anyway. So I think something that I will want to do for this, though, is I've got the condition for this. Prioritize high blocks if too high. That could cause some problems, though. Because since we're stacking these up, if there's an unexposed tofu block that is relatively high, well, as long as it's below that point, though, then it shouldn't matter. You could get hard locked, though. Ugh. Or the AI could soft lock itself. I'm going to want you to be able to advance the gems. A competitive puzzle game, yes, like Puyo Puyo, or Tetris Attack, or Magical Drop. Right now it's not super pretty. Because I haven't done, like, any art yet. Let's make that go a little faster. But the idea is kind of match 3 to get rid of gems with a focus on effectively destroying more gems than your opponent, instead of blocking each other out, which is typically the focus in this kind of game. There are 9 different playable characters, and each character that you can choose to play as sends a different kind of garbage block to the opponent. The garbage blocks then have a... They're not just regular blocks designed to take up more space and block out your opponent. The intention with the garbage blocks is that mechanically each one has to be handled differently to be gotten rid of. The garbage blocks are intended to slow down your opponent, as well as get you more points. So right now I'm just working on trying to figure out how the final character should handle their AI, because I've been stuck programming the AI for the opponent in this game for a very long time now. Otherwise, we're probably going to be ending the stream here soon. The big issue with dealing with Tofu's AI is going to be... Since you're building for height, it does lend itself to blocking yourself out. And I've got to make sure the AI isn't dumb enough to block itself out.
My mom just casually messages me. We threw a great party 2 weeks ago. So I just
Alright, folks, I think I'm going to call it. Working on Tofu's block is going to be kind of an undertaking, and I think I'm getting to the point where I understand at its core what I need to do with Tofu's block, but I'm going to need to actually work on it and kind of approach it piece by piece instead of just doing everything in my head. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and head out. So later, folks, thanks for showing up. Got a pretty fair amount done today. Next time, Tofu.